Hello my friends, Miss FB here again. This video I'm going to go over just the scoring rubric. Hopefully you've already watched the Zine project requirements one. If you have not yet watched that, please go back and watch that one first. So we're going to go over the Zine scoring rubric, which you should also have a paper copy of. And I just want to make sure that you're all clear on this scoring guide for this project. You are going to be graded in all of these areas. The point totals are here, and Mr. Lum and I will be grading most of them, and Mr. Camman will also be grading a section of the zines. So we want to make sure you know what all the requirements are and that all the scoring rubrics are. So we're just going to zip through that. Requirements: do you have all the required elements and are they in the correct order? So meaning, did you hit everything on the checkbox list and did you put the pages in the right places? So that scoring is from a 5 to a 0. 5 being all the required elements are there and everything is in the right order, and 0 is you're missing 4 or more required elements or they're out of order. Citations scored from 10 to 0. Do you have 3 citations, at least 2 of which are from our library resources, and are they in correct MLA format? Remember that for correct MLA format, your list needs to be in alphabetical order and it needs to have hanging indents. So keep that in mind. Those are the 2 biggest areas where students make mistakes. But they also need to meet the other MLA format requirements. And most of the information that you get from the databases should have the citations done for you. So that's pretty much just copying and pasting and then again putting in alphabetical order and doing the hanging indent. And if you don't know how to do a hanging indent, I would be happy to show you. So just let me know if you need that. So a 10 is going to be 3 citations, 2 from the library resources. Everything's going to be in correct format. Down to a 0 with no citations. Hopefully no one gets that. Information. You're going to be scored from 15 to 0 on your information. Is your paragraph informative? Is it factual? Are your paragraphs well developed? Do they have 5 to 7 sentences? Do they have appropriate vocabulary for your audience and your topic? Keeping in mind that Mr. Lum and I are your audience and we are not science geniuses. Although in general we are geniuses, we're not science geniuses. So we expect you to have appropriate vocabulary, but also that it's explained well enough so that if you aren't a science genius, you can figure it out. Are they in your own words? Of course, is going to be important. And then does your fun section include 10 or more words? That's a 15, and incorrect information or your paragraph not being well developed, no specific vocabulary, etc. Those are going to bring you down, down, down. So keep that in mind. Spelling goes from 0 spelling errors down to 5 or more spelling errors and is just scored accordingly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 0. Design elements, and we will talk more about this in class on the first day that you come. We're going to show you quite a few examples and things, but we're talking about things like color and space and scale and balance. Does everything flow together? Think about when you look at a magazine, what draws your eye, and those are the design elements. So a 15 is going to be very readable, so your font is readable, your information is readable, everything is neat and tidy, there are no errors, it's going to be visually interesting, your pictures are going to match your topic, your comic strip, in this case not infographic, just your comic strip, you do not have to do an infographic. The text on your comic strip is readable, the font size and style throughout your magazine are appropriate and legible. Pen does not leak through. Mostly you can avoid this by not using a Sharpie. But some other pens also leak through, and that makes it really difficult to read what is on the back page, so keep that in mind. Text is left justified. Pay attention to that, please. Everything should be justified on the left, not centered. This does not make centered, does not make for good design in a magazine, so keep that in mind. And do you have enough margin for stapling? So basically what that means is when you fold your paper, you don't want part of an article to go over onto the other side. So keep that in mind. We had a few students who had problems with that. If you are laying this out in Pages or Word or whatever you're doing, if you're typing and then you're going to cut and paste, you need to make sure that the margins are set not wider than probably about 5 inches. because you only have 5.5 inches wide to do your magazine, and we'll show you what we mean by that. All of those things together are going to give you full credit, 15 points, 12, 10, 5, and down to 0. Notice that errors are what's going to cause you problems, along with leaving things out or things being unreadable, not being justified, not having good margins. And, you know, one of these things, so let's say that your pen leaks through, is not going to automatically take you to a 5. If you've met all of these other things, you'll be somewhere in the mid-range, of course. That's how rubrics work. So we will total all those things up, all of those scores, and then we will use whatever Mr. Camman's late policy is. I don't know that right now as I'm doing this little video tutorial for you, but whatever that is, that's what we'll be going with. So if his policy is late work is a 0, then you will get a 0, and we'll clarify that with him and make sure that you are clear on that as well, and then you will get a total point. So if you have questions about the rubric, please be sure you ask when you come to class on that first day or later on if they come up for you. Thanks for your attention. Talk to you soon. Bye.